Hello, I'm Michael and this is Tarot by the Tree. We're going to recap today the key to placing the tarot cards on the trees of life. We're going to take a look at the Justice card, and then we're going to examine the court cards of the tarot deck, the numbers 1 through 10 of all four suits, and how they also lay on the tree of life. As a recap, this is the tree of life. It's only one tree of life. We do see it in its two aspects when we look at the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But they are the same tree. We're just looking at two different reflections of that tree. Starts at Cather, Chokmah, Bina, Chesed, Gevra, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malkuth. They're numbered from 1 to 10. The only pathways we need to be concerned with are the pathways of creation and ascension. They are the same path and they move according to the numbers. It can be called the lightning flash or the flaming sword. This is the only pattern that we need to be worried about. To begin with, we're going to take out the key that shows how the 22 cards of the major arcana lay on the two trees of life. We have two trees here, and they are suspended from a set of scales held by the card of Justice. The key for remembering that might have looked something like this. We have the scales of Justice, number 11. The tarot cards numbered 1 to 10 here. 11 goes up, and then 12 to 21 here. The 0 card being the Fool is the aspirant, and he's along for the ride. We'll go through the cards now and examine how they lie. The Fool is our journeyer. He starts at the top, which is Cather, the creation. He goes to duality, bringing things into our reality, the beginning of the sexes, of the pillars of severity and mercy. The Creator, the Great Mother, gives birth to the Emperor and the Stern Teacher. We have the Lovers in the Sephir of Beauty on the middle path. The Chariot on the path of mercy, talking about the unity of the mind. We have Strength on the side of severity. The Hermit that shows us a glimmer of the light of the upper worlds. And the Wheel of Fortune, which shows us in the world surrounded by things we don't quite understand. The 11th card is Justice. It suspends these two, and we'll take a look at Justice in just a minute. Card number 12. We see the Magician is turned into the Hangman. He is still radiant, but what he's doing is misunderstood by those around him. The beginning of all life, the beginning of sexuality and differences is changed into death. The message there is that death is a part of the cycle of life. It cannot be removed. To remove death would be to limit life. The great Creator, her mystery is unveiled as Temperance, who knows how to mix the right proportions, and maybe more importantly, as she's on the side of severity, she knows how to limit. She knows how to not grant admittance to certain forces and certain elements. The King, the Emperor, has turned into the devil because of those who admired him, because of those who came to worship him. He was changed into an apparition that he thought his followers needed. The devil is not an evil card. It is a card of willing subjugation. It is a card of adoration. And we can see the similarity of the devil card and the lovers. Both are willing forms of servitude. The Hierophant, who was part of the institutions, the universities, and the churches, has changed into the tower, the shattered tower. The message here is that no organized form of knowledge will ever be able to have all the answers. You will have to break out of the established norms in order to find higher knowledge. The lovers have changed into the star. The star reveals the true essence of love, which is giving, not receiving. The Chariot, who before could link the two aspects of his mind, has lost that link, and the animals now roam wild, and he is full of fear. Strength is revealed as a kind of innocence that doesn't have to threaten, brag, or warn. The Hermit has changed into the trumpeting archangel, and the Wheel of Fortune has become your world, the world, where the creatures in it are familiar and understood. That's the recap. We see how the key works, and now we'll move into the meaning of the cards from 1 to 10 of all 4 suits in the tarot deck. Bye for now. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Moving right on. We'll take a look for a moment at the Justice card. When we lay out the cards of the major arcana, 22 cards are there, but one of them, the 0 card, the Fool, sits out. He's the aspirant, he's the wanderer, and this other card sits above all the rest as the hinge pin. This is Justice. I'll read to you what the definition, what the description of the Justice card is. Justice sits between the columns of severity and mercy, or clean and grow. She is singular and all-powerful, the sword of destruction in one hand, and the scales of inevitable deserves on the other. Justice is a universal force that sits hidden between extremes. She wields great power and is the certainty of fate determined by the sum total and interrelationship of all of our actions. She is the tipping point between what should be and what is. She gives us exactly what we have earned, and none of us are likely to know the reasons why. We'll begin now with the discussion of the court cards, the cards 1 to 10 in the tarot deck. We begin with our Tree of Life, and the 1 cards will fall on the 1 Sephira, and so on. Aces are the 1 card, and just to not start off at a point of confusion, although Kether is the highest point on the Tree of Life, in a sense aces are the lowest cards. The reason is because Kether expresses unattained potential. Aces do the same thing. Aces suggest that there's something going on that could build to success. We'll start with the 4 aces. The aces would signify that if there's something with your use of power that is working right now. That could be the beginning. Similarly with happiness, wealth, or plans and aspirations. We move down now from the beginnings of all things to the realization of things. Chakma on the pillar of mercy. Chakma comes up with 4 ways of looking at partnership and decision. The first one is a union of 2 people. The second one is trying to handle dissimilar things at once. The third one is having to make a decision without the proper knowledge. And finally, the decision to travel, to expand with the realization that some things might be left behind. We move on to Bina, the 3 on the side of severity. She is the creative force, the maternal force. You'll see in her 4 rather dissimilar things. The celebration of happiness, the respect of high quality work, heartbreak and sadness, and feeling that it's time to move. We'll move now into Chesed on the side of mercy, the merciful king. The 4 cards here suggest boredom, holding on tightly to what you already have, taking a rest from your life, and celebrating your life. You're bored with life. You're going to hang on tightly to everything you have in life. You're resting from life and you're celebrating life. Gevra, the stern teacher, shows us 3 lessons that we will have to learn in order to succeed. The first lesson is dealing with constant strife. The next lesson is dealing with loss and defeat. The third lesson is homelessness, being destitute, of having no place to go. And the final one is loss of something precious. In Tiferet, the realm of beauty, we have happiness from the past. Happiness that allows you to give away some of your riches, but only to those who you think deserve it. We have moving to a place of what you hope will be future happiness. And you have returning from success and being acknowledged as a hero. Netzach, which was the chariot, control of your emotions, loss of control of your emotions, shows us 4 types of emotions. One is when you are offered something too good to be true, it is. Don't fall for it. The next card suggests that even when you work hard and have a good harvest, it may not be what you hoped. This card suggests that you have to be aware that things can be stolen from you. And this card is maintaining your high ground despite the necessity of constant squabbling. Hod, the realm of strength, shows somebody with happiness who's, despite that happiness, is willing to walk away in search of something else. We have a person who has decided to stay where he is and just continue hard work. We have someone who feels trapped, but the trap is of their own making. They have used their power, and that power has confined them. And we have a person who is waiting for outside information. Yesod, that was the hermit. We see the wish card, the home card, the sadness card, and the defense card. In this card, you're being offered a wish, and that sometimes happens in life. There's no trick to it. Make your choice and be happy. This is a woman who has taken care of her life, has had riches and success and knowledge, and she now enjoys the fruits of that labor. This suggests heartbreak, waking up at night with memories of something that have gone wrong, how sometimes you can use your personal power in ways that can devastate someone else or the situation. This is a card of being battered, bruised, and weary, of successfully being able to maintain your security, but at some cost to your energy level. In Malkuth, we reach the end of a cycle. There are 4 ways a cycle can end: with great happiness and rejoicing, with being able to see the things you have strived for being carried out in new generations, of being utterly defeated, of having to start over, and of being successful, but at the cost of great labor and some uncertainty. You are managing to carry the load, you are steps away from the finish line, but you don't know if you can do this for much longer. So that's it. We've looked at the cards from 1 to 10. They follow the path of the Tree of Life. And next lesson, we'll take a look at the Royal cards and how they lay on the Tree of Life. Thank you.